Yo, yo, yo. It is your boy Jed Sanders here with some fight predictions. And we MMA fans, we're just so lucky. We're so blessed this beautiful weekend. We got two big MMA cards going on tonight. Now, maybe not big, but we got one big one and one fight night. You know what I'm saying? We got Arnold Allen versus Melquizael Costa. And I'm also going to talk about Doho Choi versus Daniel Santos, which is the co-main on that night. And we're going to go ahead and give our predictions for the MVP fight between Mike Perry, Nate Diaz, Nuganu Lins, and Rousey and Carano. Now, let's go ahead and get into it, boys. First up, we got Doho Choi versus Daniel Santos. Now, this dude, Doho Choi. Now, we know this guy from the amazing war that he had with our good friend, Mr. Cub Swanson. He retired recently, and Mr. Doho Choi here is currently on a 2-fight winning streak. Yeah, crazy. By knockout as well. And if I'm not wrong, he knocked out Nate Landwehr in the second round. And a dude named Bill Algeo also in the second round. Yeah, I think so. Anyways, this dude Doho Choi, man, he's a beast, man. He got some sharp boxing, clean striking. I gotta tell y'all, this dude that he's fighting, Mr. Daniel Santos, though. Now, this guy, he's on a 4-fight win streak, and he knocked out Mr. John Castaneda in the second round, and Joe Sang-yu also in the second round. So I guess I think the Bill Algeo was second, and then the Nate Landwehr was round 3 or something. But anyways, Daniel Santos on a 4-fight win streak. Joe Sang-yu, he's that guy. He was trying to showboat in the fight, you know, trying to act all cool guy. Got taken down by Daniel, and whenever he was down, he was all trying to act all cool, but it didn't work out in the second round. He ended up getting caught, got knocked out, and not a good way to go, man. But you know, this dude Daniel Santos, man, he's a clean fighter. Got some crazy strikes. Got some Muay Thai strike style. I will say though, when he fought against John Castaneda, he did get dropped a few good times, but he did come back, put the pressure on him, and was able to get the TKO. And also, just a nice little fun fact here, he's already got 2 wins over some Korean guys, man. So I'm thinking he's trying to collect them all here with Doho Choi. And I'm going to go ahead and say that he might get the unanimous decision win here against Doho Choi. Next up, we got Arnold Allen versus Melquizael Costa. Or not Costa, but Costa. It's hard to say that like that. Man, it's hot sailing here too, man. Y'all see me sweating up in the bitch. But anyways, our boy Arnold Allen is currently on a 4-fight losing streak. Now, that is tough, but when you think about it, before that, he was undefeated, all right? He lost to some tough dudes like Holloway, Avloev, fucking, who else was it? Jean Silva, you know. And he's lost to the big names, you know. So, right now, he needs a comeback. He needs a comeback win. He really needs to bounce back. His last win was a KO over Calvin Kadar in the second round. And, shit, he's never been finished. That's crazy. Even though he's on a losing streak, he has not been finished in any of those fights. He goes a distance. He goes a war. He's a straight-up fucking fighter, man. Our guy Melquizael, on the other hand, he is on a 6-fight winning streak, with 4 of them being finishes. You know, couple subs, couple knockouts. But before that, he had gotten knocked out badly by fucking Steve Garcia. That dude did damage to him. But since then, he's been on a winning streak. He's been looking good. You know, he's been looking real sharp. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I like Melquizael, and I'm a fan of this guy. He has power, you know, he shows it here. But with this fight against Allen has been in there with some powerful fighters too, like Jean Silva. Went the distance with him. Same with Max Holloway. Well, Max Holloway is not a power fighter, but you know, he was able to hang with Holloway. And so that's something that he has that Melquizael hasn't done, is gone full 5 rounds. In his fight against Julian Erosa, he looked like he was starting to kind of gas out there near the 3rd round, at the midway point of the 3rd round. And, you know, in this fight, I'm going to take the experience of Arnold Allen. You know, the fact that he's on a losing streak right now, I think he's going to want that win back, or want a win, you know, needs it. And I think he'll get a TKO win, a 4th round TKO. I will say, though, I will be going for Mel. Again, like I said, I'm a fan of Mel, so I personally will be going for Mel. But when I like look at these things again, I don't go off of who I want to win. Like, I want Mel to win, but fuck, a little worried for bro. But we'll see what happens. Anyways, next up we got the motherfucking MVP card. Now, the first fight we're gonna talk about is Nate Diaz versus Mike Perry. So Nate Diaz won his last boxing match against Jorge Masvidal. And both of these fucking guys lost to Jake Paul. What can you do? So Nate, when it comes to his striking, his stand-up, he's very jabby, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, volume all day, all day, keeping range, keeping you at the distance. You know, if he does get dropped or if it goes to the ground, he won't hesitate to go to the ground. You know, he's usually not initiating the takedown unless he is hurt himself. But, you know, I don't think he might shoot for a takedown if Mike Perry clips him and then, you know, he gets dropped. Boom. But, you know, his last MMA fight was against Tony Ferguson, which he won by a guillotine. And that was in the 4th round. And, man, dude, other than that, I mean, he hasn't been very active, you know. He's a prize fighter, you know what I'm saying? Our boy Mike Perry, on the other hand, he is undefeated in bare knuckle fighting. He's the king of bare knuckle fighting. Nobody can beat him. His last win was a 5th round TKO over Jeremy Stevens, Mr. Say win. But as you can see, that win hasn't really aged too well since his return to the MMA and all that. But nonetheless, it's still a win. You know, his last win in MMA was against Mickey Gall in 2020. And he lost his last MMA fight to Daniel Rodriguez by unanimous decision. And if y'all haven't seen that fight, the way he lost that fight was basically Daniel Rodriguez using volume, range, keeping him at distance, mixing up his strikes. And if I'm being honest, I think what will happen here is I think he might be able to clip Nate and maybe drop Nate. But I think Nate's going to get him in a triangle choke or something, or he's just going to straight 1-2 him to the distance. But I'm going to go with Nate Diaz winning this fight. I'll go with unanimous decision because this dude, Mike Perry, is tough to beat, or tough to finish, you know. So I think Nate Diaz will be able to volume punch his way to victory. Next up, we got Francis Ngannou versus Felipe Lins. Now, this dude, Francis Ngannou, he's coming off of a win against Renan Ferreira in his return to MMA for the PFL in the 1st round, and since then has completely fucked over the PFL and is now doing this fight with MVP. That's fucking funny. But anyways, you know, allegedly. But anyways, he lost twice in his boxing matches. Once horribly knocked out by Anthony Joshua. But I think the reason why he was so horribly knocked out in this fight was because of how well he did against Tyson Fury, in which he did drop Fury, and a lot of people even thought he should have won that fight. But nonetheless, he lost both his boxing matches, made a lot of money in them, and became a big name, you know. But since then, or before then, he left the UFC as the UFC heavyweight champion, beating Cyril Gane, who was actually competing for the heavyweight belt here soon. Again, dude's always fighting for the belt, never won it. But I mean, that's the last we've heard of him since, really, other than, you know, of course, what I just said. Our dude Felipe Lins over here, man, this guy has a lot of canceled fights. This guy's got 14 canceled fucking fights. 3 of them with Ben Rothwell, 2 of them with OVP. And although he did eventually get his hands on OVP and knocked him out, he never got to fight Ben Rothwell. But you know, he was undefeated in the UFC, I believe. Or no, he had 4 wins in the UFC. Yeah, 4-fight win streak. He's currently on a 4-fight win streak because he's technically not, you know, he's just undefeated, right? Not undefeated, but he's on a 4-fight win streak. There we go. On a 4-fight win streak, but even though he has that going for him, this is obviously, in my opinion, a cherry-picked fight for Francis. I think Francis Ngannou is going to get a first-round knockout. It's his return, not his return, but like a big night for him, big night for MVP. They need their star to win. So I'm going to take Francis Ngannou fucking horribly knocking out Felipe Lins in the first round. And next up, we got our main event with Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano. Now, Ronda Rousey lost her last 2 MMA fights against Holly Holm and Amanda Nunes, both strikers. You know, she was on top of the world before that loss, you know. She was on top of the MMA world. She was the face of MMA. You had people saying things like she could beat Floyd Mayweather, you know. Real wild shit, you know. But nonetheless, she was a big star. Big name, household name. People that didn't watch fights knew of her. You know what I mean? And that fame got to her badly. And so it made her think that she was some striker. Decided to strike with Holly Holm, got knocked out, came back, returned fight to fight Amanda Nunes, but the return was so heavy. Like, it was all about her when the champion was Amanda Nunes. So it pissed Amanda Nunes off to the point she just beat the fucking brakes off of her. And it was sad. It was bad. But, you know, nonetheless, it happened. And so she kind of went off, disappeared. Nobody's ever heard of her. Like, hasn't heard from her since recently. Gina Carano, on the other hand, she has not won a fight, or her last MMA fight she lost, and that was in 2009 against a roid-raged Chris Cyborg. So before that, she was undefeated, but she hasn't fought since 2009. You know, and on top of that, you know, she was doing the acting. She was with Disney and all this shit, you know. She had a lot going on outside of the cage, outside of the training. And, you know, in my personal opinion, these two have been on such a long time, that, you know, this fight is up in the air. But when I think about it, you know, Rousey still technically is closer to competing than stupid fucking Carano was, you know. And so because of that, this is her big night. This is her big event. This is her thing. I'm going to go with Ronda Rousey by submission in the first round. You know, I think they're going to, you know, be all huggy, kiss, love each other and all that stuff. And then, boom, she's going to take her down, get her arm bar, submit her. And I think that's going to be the way that fight goes. I think they need that to happen. They need her to win so that way they can continue forward. And even though she did mention that this would be her last fight, she wouldn't say that if she didn't think she was going to win this fight. So I think she's going to win this fight. And that's it. That's all. That's it for my picks on this fight. For MVP and for the fight night for UFC. Man, these are some sick fights. I ain't gonna fucking lie to you guys. So I'm excited to see what we're in for. I'm gonna have 2 TVs up. I'm gonna have my big TV up right here with MVP, cause you know I got big name. We got big names on the MVP, and we gonna have the little guy up here for our boys at the UFC. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, that's it. That's all. Y'all like and subscribe, and y'all leave a comment, and y'all let me know who you guys got. And until next time, y'all keep fucking with y'all boy, and peace.